from making himself comfortable after he scored from all over with 47 points in that Game 2 win. Grizzlies, without Dillon Brooks, he was suspended for the flagrant foul that gave Gary Payton II a fractured elbow. Let's get it on. First quarter, Grizzlies up 6. Jaren Jackson Jr. for 3. Grizzlies came out hot. They're up 9. Later, they're up 7. Ja Morant from 3. That one's good, too. Grizzlies by 10. Grizzlies off to that hot start. 6 buckets, all coming from 3. Their first 6. Memphis up 2 after 1. Early second quarter. Warriors now up 1. Jordan Poole drives, drops it off for Kevon Looney. Looney back to Poole for 3. Money. The Warriors 17 of 32 from 3. They're up 4. Just over 2 minutes to go in the half. Steph Curry put him on the line as well. Warriors shooting 70% from the floor in the first half. Final seconds of the half. Morant from half court. Hey, Curry does that at that arena, but Morant doing it there. 17 in the first half. Grizzlies down by 7 at the break. Early third. Otto Porter Jr. to Klay Thompson, who found his stroke. Thompson buries the 3. Warriors open up on a 10-0 run in the third. Curry all the way to the cup. Golden State shot 63% as a team for the game. And then Thompson, 4 for 6 from three-point range. Got that one off on one leg. Finished with 21 points for the game. Late in the third, 20-point game. Curry stops and drops it in. Look at the footwork. You run him off the line, makes you pay in the lane. Warriors up by 21 going into the fourth. Grizzlies down 18. Morant double-teamed, gets fouled, and after the play, Morant holding his knee. Take another look at the play. Morant takes a bump, and then Poole makes contact with his knee. Morant heads to the bench, appears frustrated and uncomfortable. He would head to the locker room limping, would not return. He had 34 points in the game. Middle of the fourth. Warriors up 18. Poole, 27 off the bench. And then Curry helping to finish it out. A little give and go with Green. Curry with 30 points on 14 shots because he went 14 of 14 at the line. Warriors take game 3 by 30 to go up 2-1.
We just watched the replay. He was going after a dribble, and Jordan Poole actually grabbed his knee and yanked it, which kind of triggered whatever happened. So I'm actually going to be very curious to see what happens after that.
Are you saying he did it on accident, on purpose? Was he trying
watch
to
the
ball?
film? I don't know.
Oh, well, you know.
I'm saying that happened. It triggered it.
He was a basketball player. When we doubled him, and I hit the ball, and I was going for the ball. I mean, obviously, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. I'm not even that type of player.
There's nothing malicious about what Jordan did. There's no comparison to what Dillon did or Draymond, like nothing in that vein. So it's not a joking matter that Ja's hurt, but all the rest of it is just total BS in terms of the conversation right now.
It's unfortunate. You never want to see that type of stuff, but obviously it's not done by no one's out here dirty. No one's out here like that, but it's just unfortunate. So you know the code. Talk about the code all series at this point.
All right, so that will be a continuing talking point of this series. Now, you may be familiar with the 50-40-90 stat for individual players in terms of shooting percentage. Well, the Warriors went 60-50-90. 60% from the floor, 53% from 3, better than 90% from the line. Just the second team in NBA playoff history to go 60-50-90 in a game. The other, the 2001 Sixers in a game in which... Let's welcome in Jalen Rose once again. Jalen, it was a slow start for the Warriors, but once it clicked, the game was over. Can you pinpoint exactly when it changed and what changed it?
An extremely slow start. The Memphis Grizzlies made their first 6 field goals. They were up double digits, really feeling good about their game. But the Golden State Warriors did a terrific job of continuing to move the ball. And their bench performers were really key. In particular, Jordan Poole, Otto Porter came in, played quality minutes. And then in the second half, the onslaught just started. Splash Brothers were making shots, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And then before you know it, the Golden State Warriors were onto a rout.
All right, so if Ja Morant is limited in any way, how much trouble is Memphis in? I mean, they played well without him during the regular season, but that's not a series with the Warriors.
Extreme trouble. I totally agree with you. That's not a series with the Warriors. And you'll get Dillon Brooks back, which is a welcome sight. But Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane puts more pressure on them. You want those guys to be a lot more effective, a lot more efficient. But obviously, Ja Morant is one of those superstar level players, Stan. He's the guy that carries you in this situation. He's the reason why you won game 2 because he scored 47 points. So without him in the lineup, they don't have much of a chance with this deep Golden State Warriors team.
All right, we'll see what happens with that.
Do you believe the Warriors can win the title this season?
And remember, we talked a lot about them in October, November, even December, and then Steph Curry got hurt.
Yeah.
And then you had, obviously, the Phoenix Suns doing what they were doing.
Yeah, we didn't know about Clay.
I don't think they will. I think the road is going to be difficult, and I get it. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, all that experience. But Klay still, to me, is not all the way back. I think it's still going to take until next season. I'm not going to give up on the Phoenix Suns. I think with Devin Booker, that hamstring injury maybe keeps him out of this series. I think they'll get past New Orleans. But the one thing about the Phoenix Suns and what they've done this year about taking the regular season seriously, and they got so close to the finish line last year, Molly, and Chris Paul, he wants to end his career. Not that he's going to end this year, but he wants to have a championship on that resume. I think the motivation is there. I think the experience is there. And their role players, guys like Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, I think they're ready for this moment. By the way, Mikal Bridges, and you'll like this, Steve, because I know we complain about players not playing. He led the league in total minutes. Do you know if this was the year 2003, he would have been 36th in total minutes. This year, he's first. There's just something about this Phoenix Suns team. Yeah. I just don't think Golden State is going to get it all together. I think the road is too difficult. Again, all the respect in the world for that group. I don't think they do it this year.
Okay. Well, to piggyback off of what you said, I mean, as it pertains to people being available and showing up to work, there's only 5 players in the NBA that haven't missed a game this year.
Yep.
5 out of 450 plus.
Amazing.
That is the lowest in NBA history. That's a damn travesty. And that's something that the NBA will address. You and I both know if collective bargaining negotiations are going to be very, very interested with some of the stuff that some of these players, not most, not all, but some of these players have tried to get away with. NBA ain't having it, and damn it, I don't blame them. Now, having said all of that, you're talking about the Phoenix Suns and how they're worthy and warranted, and it's warranted that they're the favorites. I don't disagree with that. I think they are the favorites. I think from start to finish, when you consider the level of consistency that they've put on display, they, without question, have been the best team in basketball. I've seen the best team in basketball get knocked off before, and so have you. And I think this is a year it's going to happen. I ain't betting against these Golden State Warriors, bro. And ain't no there's no shade. There's no shade on the Phoenix Suns. What I saw from the Warriors, and I got it, matchups, styles make fights. We know that Denver's in over their head because they don't have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. I get all of that. When you look at Jokic and the big boy DeMarcus Cousins as well, these are guys that you got that set up, but that doesn't work in a matchup like this because you got thoroughbreds, road runners on the other side that are the Golden State Warriors. And they ran Denver out of the state in game 2, out of the state. I mean, I haven't seen a performance like that. I mean, it was something spectacular to behold. And I was actually going to go to that game Monday night, Frank. I was actually going to go to that game. And I said, you know what? I got to be back here too early. I ain't going to do it. So I didn't go to the game. And damn it, I regret it. I really regret it. I should have went to that game because it was that spectacular to behold. Steph Curry, Klay, and then Jordan Poole. This young brother is something special. He is something special. And he's more like Steph Curry than Klay. His movement without the ball, his ball handling skills, his ability to use those skills to get to the basket, and the range with which he pulls up from. Now, that mirrors both Klay and Steph. But Klay don't handle the ball like that, okay? And so when I look at it from that perspective, I just say, I got a nickname for them, Frank Isola. It's Lethal Weapon 3. Remember, I ain't talking about the movie with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson Jr.
Get out of
I'm
here.
not talking about the movie.
You're reaching.
Hold on. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about Georgia Tech, Kenny Anderson, Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver. You remember that back in the day. It was something special. And I'm looking at Poole, Steph, and Klay, and that's my nickname for them, Lethal Weapon
hang on a second.
3.
Hang on. You must be going a little soft out on the West Coast. We didn't know anything about Cam Johnson last year. What did he do for Phoenix? Mikal Bridges, think about the way that he played. Same thing with DeAndre. And how about Campaign coming off the bench? So the players that we had question marks about last year for Phoenix, they delivered. Be honest now, Steve. Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole has been great, no question about it. How's he going to do in a big road game against a team like Phoenix? We don't know that. You're just assuming that it's not. If his agent already called, and thank you for putting him in the same category as Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, but we don't know that yet.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm talking about this young talent. First of all, he's averaging 29. I just want to throw that out there. He's averaging 29 and a half in the first two games, in his first two playoff games. It's not like it's not, I'm just saying he had 30 and 29. That's number one, right? Number two, I'm looking at his skill set. Certainly, you know what? The jury's still out. Got to show up. If you go up against Memphis in the next round, assuming they get past Minnesota, you got to go up against them brothers who want all the smoke, right? Came in the game two, handled their business like they were supposed to. They better had, damn it, okay? Then you got Phoenix. If you're fortunate enough to get past that, don't get me wrong. I'm fully aware of the challenges. I'm just saying, I believe in those brothers. You believe in certain people, why can't I? I'm looking at Steph and Klay. Their resume speaks for itself. Let me
get in
this
here real
brother
quick.
right.
Ask you this. Should the Warriors break up the big three if they don't win it all this season?
Hell yeah. Yes, they should. And let me tell you why, okay? It's because fix your body language. Look, you see how emotionally he's attached to the Warriors, Molly? Every time you get ready to say something about the Warriors and you say something, he don't even know why I'm about to say it. Look, if I'm the Golden State Warriors and I'm looking at a young star on the rise in Jordan Poole, and I'm looking at Klay Thompson right now, and this is no knock on Klay Thompson, but at some point in time, you're going to have to let Jordan Poole be the best version of him. And I'm not saying that Klay Thompson is a guy that he can never get back to the Klay Thompson we seen before the injury, because we seen glimpses of that. But what I'm saying is that at some point you have to move forward and start to build. And you don't want anything to get in the way of the growth of Jordan Poole, because I believe that Jordan Poole is going to be special. And so with that being said, it's only one basketball. And so I'm looking at it like this. At some point, every good thing has to come to an end. And so if that means having to break up the big three that's in Golden State, and that means having to move on from Klay Thompson, and that's not a knock on Klay Thompson, because he could end up with the New York Knicks, and Stephen A. Smith wouldn't have a problem with it at all, to not get in the way of Jordan Poole, then I think the Warriors should really consider that.
I think you're insane. There ain't no way in hell I'm breaking up these brothers right here. Now, call me in 2 years, and that's a different discussion. Last time I checked, Jordan Poole's under that rookie wage scale salary. You know, you got this year, you get paid next year, then there's a team option on them the year after that. So I got his rights. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I ain't letting that brother go, because I think Jordan Poole is a star blossoming before our eyes right now. Okay, so let me be very, very clear. Now, there's a level of consistency that he has to bring, because there's a couple of playoff games he tailed off, all right? And Klay Thompson, we knew before he got injured, there was a level of consistency that he put forth for the most part, all right? I'm looking at today's game in all seriousness, Kendrick Perkins, all joking aside. I'm looking at today's game and the fact that everybody is starving because of the way the game has evolved, to echo your sentiments, all right? Everybody's looking for a shooter. The Warriors got 3 of them. Let's understand something. I picked the Warriors to win the chip this year, and I'm not jumping off the bandwagon, but I really picked them in all seriousness just to remind the audience, because I thought James Wiseman would be back. That was an additional big body that could give you 15 to 20 minutes and 6 fouls, and I thought that was all they needed, because Kevon Looney would need some help, and so would Draymond on their front court defensively. But what I'm saying to you is that from an offensive standpoint, when you look at their personnel, and I look at a Kuminga, and I look at a Wiseman, and I look at a Poole, I'm not changing a damn thing. If I'm the Golden State Warriors, they got the highest payroll. Joe Lacob, Goober and those boys, they got money. Continue to keep it that way. I don't give a damn about luxury taxes. You can afford it. You're out there near Silicon Valley. You can afford it. Look, man, I ain't letting go of nobody. I ain't moving Klay. I ain't moving Poole. I damn sure ain't moving Steph, obviously. I'm keeping those 3 brothers together come hell or high water. I'm not moving them. I'm not moving, because everybody wants what I have. If I'm the Warriors, everybody.
Yeah, but Stephen A., listen, it comes a point, man, where you have to move on. And if you have a young star that you have the urge to hand over the keys to him, then you got to let him drive the vehicle. And so what I'm saying is, again, this is not a knock on Klay Thompson. All I'm saying is wait till it's time for negotiation. And let me ask you this. Will Klay Thompson consider taking less money if somebody is willing to give him a big bag? Because I strongly believe that on another team, Klay Thompson still could be a second option to another superstar to help them actually compete and win for a title. Hold on, real quick, let me make this. Because if Jordan Poole keep rising the way that he's rising right now and flourishing and evolving, then guess what's going to happen? All of a sudden, it's going to become Steph and Jordan Poole. And now all of a sudden, Klay is going to become the third option when he should be on another team being the second option.
Let me blow you away with this. Let me tell you how I feel about Klay. And this is Klay at less than 100%. Because we all know he ain't 100% yet. He'll be better next year than he is now. We both know that, right? He's 33, 33 years old? I think he's 32 years old, okay? Here's the deal. Let me throw this at you. To show you how much I feel about Klay Thompson.
The Warriors.
I believe Klay Thompson is worth